Ruben, it's been a couple of days since the game against Brighton and your pretty damning assessment of the team. Have you been surprised by the reaction that it's caused?
No, I try not to read. I just have this information before the press conference from Andrew. If not, it's impossible to do my job with all the noise surrounding the games and what I said. I know what I said. I know that is hard for people to listen what I said. I try to explain now in the press conference that I was talking more about me because we played 10 games with me as a coach in Premier League. And we lost 7, I think, and it's really hard. And if you try to look, one team in Manchester United this year that had that number of games and number of losses, especially at home. So I was talking not about my players, but more about me, and trying and that statement follow a question about how was the feeling of the Manchester United fans. So I was trying to show that we know that what we are doing wrong, and that is really hard for the fans, and we will try to fix it.
What has the reaction been then from the players in these last few days in training?
Yeah, of course it's good, but it's hard for them also, not because of what I said in the press, but what I said in the dressing room, I think, and I prefer that way, to have that feeling and to have something to deal with them, to create that connection. Sometimes we break things to fix it, and but they are okay, and we are focusing.
You were pretty scathing. You said it's perhaps the worst Manchester United team, how everybody is underperforming. You had some strong words to say in public. Were there strong words to the team? Was it an angry dressing room after that game?
No, everything I said there, I said in the dressing room. Maybe that was the problem. I need to calm down, like always I do. But in that day was really hard. Maybe because of frustration, and then sometimes it's really hard for me to hide this frustration. But that's it. I will not try to focus a lot on that. I'm happy that I said those things in a different way in the dressing room, so it was not that I spoke publicly and not to the players. I do it before with the players, and let's move on.
So do you regret what you said, or perhaps how you said it maybe?
The way I acted clearly, because I have a responsibility, and I need to think sometimes better in the way I say that. I do it all the time, but in that time was really hard for me. But like I said, I think I have good things in the way I deal with everything. Sometimes I make some mistakes. It's really hard for me to hide the frustration in some moments, and it's really hard to lose. And sometimes you cannot control yourself.
I mean, are we getting a glimpse then perhaps of just how big this challenge is for you as a coach, and the passion and emotion that this job creates at a club like Manchester United?
For me, it's always the same passion. I know that Manchester United is the biggest club in the world, but I know that even when I start in the 3rd division, I had the same feeling. It's not about the people. It's about me. It's the way I feel. It's the way that you feel. That I will say it again. Some things that you can use it. That I'm feeling that I'm failing to my players. I'm failing to Omar and to Jason, and that feeling is really hard to deal. So it's more about me than the other people, because I have a clear idea that tomorrow nobody is going to remember me. So it's not about me. It's what about other people think about me. That will pass in 2 weeks. So I'm just focused on my feeling and the way I need to do my job, and to feel like I'm feeling that I'm not disappointing people. So is more about that than the pressure from outside. From me, it's clearly, believe it or not, is always the same, because I don't read nothing. I will say it again. It's more about the pressure that I have inside. I don't like to lose, and to lose so many times is really hard to cope.
You admit you're a direct person, and there'll be certain quarters that say, actually, it was quite refreshing to hear that from a manager. It's quite brave, it was honest. Is there a danger that it could have a negative impact?
Yeah, especially in the players. That is the most important thing. I'm here to protect my players. Also, sometimes to protect is to say the right things, and I try to balance those things, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I get it wrong. But in the way I say it, I should do it in a different way, because I can do it if I think a little bit more in things, if I'm more calm. But like I said, I'm a coach of Manchester United, and I'm responsible for a team that loses again at home for 3 goals. Sometimes it's really hard to cope with that. So I'm a young guy, and with that brings good things, bad things. But like I said, I will improve in that details. I just want to win games the next game.
We have seen some positive performances from against Liverpool, against Arsenal. Has the most frustrating thing been that lack of consistency, perhaps? When do you think this is going to click, or what's missing?
I don't. We will try. We are trying all together to find that answers to that question. We need that consistency. We show sometimes that we can play well, but we need to focus on the small details, like don't suffer goals in the beginning of the games. That has a huge impact in the way that we play the rest of the game. So we are trying to find that answers.
Is there a nervousness and an anxiousness, a lack of confidence, perhaps, particularly at home, and how much of a concern is that?
That is clear, but if you play this game, if you follow this game, you understand the context. So you are losing games at home, and that feeling of frustration is getting higher and higher, and that is normal. The only thing you have to try to fix the little details, not the whole context. It has to be like small things, not suffer a goal, score first, have that feeling of winning and perform well at home, and then things will change. But I think it's clear that we are getting a little bit nervous sometimes, especially when we suffer first.
Does the results and your position in the table reinforce the fact that perhaps you need some new players to come in? We're well into the transfer window now. Can we expect some kind of movement? And is business now important?
I don't want to focus on that, especially this week. I just want them to help them to perform well, and then, like all the clubs, the window is open. Something can happen because some players are not playing too much, and etc. We never know. So the focus now is to help them to improve their performance.
What do you want to see from them then? What's the focus got to be on Thursday night?
Especially, we need to be focused on the small details, and I'll try to help them in the little details, the small information, trying to put them in the comfortable position to play better. If you improve with the ball, you will improve the way you defend. So I'm really focused on the task, not in something like holistic things with the big information or small things. Try to help them to be comfortable on the pitch.